everyone, I'm the Dinosaur here, back at it again with another episode of Kentucky Route Zero, doing Act 4 today, picking up at Scene 6. Last episode, our home slice disappeared, he turned into a full-blown skeleton. What? What are we gonna do, guys? Act 4, Scene 6. A Grove. I feel like we're very zoomed out. Where's your dog go? I thought your dog would have been here. Oh, I can pick one. She lit a second cigarette of embers. The first one, she trembled, sweating. I lit on her coat. It was warmer near the doors. No smoking. Kate gently rolled a fallen branch and plucked something. No smoking within 25 feet of the hospital entrance. So she stood by a hot dog cart parked at the edge of the sidewalk. You can't smoke there either. Oh, we're gonna read both, alright? Kate gently rolled a fallen branch and plucked something white from the underside. She holds it up for Ezra to examine. Porosabella porrigans. The common name is angel wings. It's not pleasant. They have a delicate, springy texture, and they're tasty, like sweet moss. Would you like a bite? Sure. Ezra takes a small bite and ruminates. What do you think? Is it supposed to be spicy? No, go ahead and spit that out, it's okay. My mushroom hunting mentor told me it's useless to pretend to know mushrooms. They escape your erudition. The more you know them, the less sure you feel about identifying them. She taps the cover of a small red book she's carrying. That's why I always bring my favorite guidebook. She points to a small mushroom growing in the dirt. Oh, here's an important I want to recognize though. Look, the sort of greenish pallor of the cap, Amanita phalloides? That's Greek. Amanita means mushroom, and phalloides means... Never mind. It smells like honey. Yeah, sort of nauseating though, right? Sickly sweet. Death cap. That's the common name. It's killed a lot of people, this little mushroom, including a few Roman emperors. It's revolutionary. Even the Buddha died from eating a mushroom when he was very old. That's just what they do. Clear away old things, make room for new things. Pretty important, right? I've always thought they deserved a little more respect. Would you like to help me look for a few more? I have a sort of shopping list. Great, look for... Actually, just grab any mushrooms that catch your eye and throw them in this bag. Let me know when you're done and we'll see what you've got. Have fun! That's the second rule of mushroom hunting. The first rule is ask Kate before eating anything, okay? Ezra investigates a rotting stump. Okay, hold on. Digs in a bare patch of dirt, examines some tree roots. She spots a couple of intriguing growths along the roots of the tree, a speckled white ball, and a cluster of softly glowing amber caps. The hot dog vendor tried to strike up conversation with some immediately too personal questions. She decided to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he considered it part of his job, she thought, to offer his customers some kind of counsel. Maybe it's to salve his guilty conscience for selling junk food outside a hospital. I'm gonna go back and forth because I'm afraid if I go through one, it's gonna end it. Alright. No, not this one. Pokes around the base of a cypress tree? Cypress tree? I don't know. A brownish clump of mushrooms feathered out from the base of the cypress tree. A few feet above, several pale blue puffs cling to the trunk. He didn't like to play in the house. It was always too cold. It seemed to store up the cold at night, then slowly discharge it into his bones during the day, while the sun bounced feebly off the windows. But he liked to play in the woods behind the house. The woods were full of deer. His dad said the deer liked to live on the edges of the forest. Recent development in the area had created a lot of fresh edges, so they massed here and sometimes ran into the road. Alright, so the kid's gonna examine the glowing ember. The mushrooms are slick, sticky to the touch, like they're covered in smoldering honey. Alright, put them in your bag. Alright, let's examine the blue puff. He prods one in the pale orbs of a stick, and it cracks open a little, releasing a fine dust in the air. Please don't breathe that in. He felt like the world outside the woods had somehow slipped away while he was gone, and now there's nothing but the woods. He kept going. Alright, take the puffball. Kneels in grass. She parts the grass with her garden knife, studiously combing the ground. Had she ever tried any alternative medicines? Acupuncture, homotherapy, ayurveda, magical thinking? She said she never heard of any of those things. He fished a stray hot dog out of the pickle jar. Ew. There are no mushrooms in the grass. Kate tries to wipe some mud off her boot. Oh, you got one? Let's see it. No. No. Okay, investigate rotting stump. The stump is ringed with overlapping shells, mushrooms shaped, brown, blue, gray, white. A caterpillar crawls along one of them. He didn't have any friends nearby. None of their near neighbors seemed to have children his age, so he played alone in the woods alone, except for the deer. Mushrooms. It smelled spicy, sweet, mild, like Ezra had expected his father's tobacco to taste when he hastily chewed and swallowed a noxious fistful and spent the afternoon retching in secret. Ew, I'm so sorry. He heard someone calling his name, probably his mother, but her voice didn't sound right through the trees. He kept going. Yes, take the mushroom. Ezra closes his eyes and listens to the water and the distant clicking of the bats. He tripped on a protruding root and lay for a while in the mud, examining the pale upper branches of a sycamore tree, listening to the soft rumble of a faraway thunderstorm. Then louder, closer, and his hair stood on end. There was the bird. A blue puffball. Interesting. I don't think I've seen this exact species before. This one's too old to be of any use anyway. Puffballs get all dried out like this as they age, until they're so delicate that it only takes the slightest agitation. Kate gently shakes the puffball. It bursts into a cloud of spores. And the wind does the rest. See? Its weakness is a survival strategy. A kind of radical, transformative weakness. I just found this one. Kate takes a bundle of amber caps from her bag. These ones are really cool. See how they glow a little? It's not enough to find your way in the dark or anything, but it's still pretty amazing. Anyway, I make a tea out of them. Pretty good for headaches. Kate puts the mushrooms back into her bags. So... oh no. What do your parents do for work, I mean? My dad used to sell windows. People were building a lot of new houses, and they needed a lot of windows, but then they stopped building houses. My mom worked at a bakery and a bar. Sometimes she would see the same people in the morning and the evening. The bakery closed, and she didn't work in the bar anymore, but she still goes there a lot to see her friends. Do you have a family? Eesh. I left home when I was very young, not much older than you, actually. Oh my god. I bounced around jobs and shelters and finally found my way down the Echo River. Never looked back. I've basically been on my own since then. Well, that's not true. Just about everything that's footed down the mucky mammoth feels like family to me now. I guess nobody's family, then everybody's family. These are the only trees in the whole cave. Who planted them here? Right, not many trees down here in the dark. I know these are some kind of cypress, and they were definitely planted here to Liberty, with someone who... I guess I don't know much about this place, really. It's supposed to be some kind of memorial to something? Who would know more? Oh, Will would know more. Sorry, it's a mystery. Ezra kicks the dirt. Months later, she came across a book on homeopathic medicine in a used bookstore and bought it. It's a mystery! I'll search for clues. She put out her cigarette, said goodbye to the hot dog vendor, and spent the rest of the afternoon listening to doctors trying to understand the world as they did, as a list of discrete injuries to be mended. Ezra examined a large stone monument. The monument is covered with lichen and painted text. Reads the text. X plus 0 forever. Oh. That's probably someone who loves each other. The cypress tree. The tree smells spicy, oily. Yeah, look up. Some of the branches have been trimmed recently. Really? Ezra inspects the contents of his pockets. Alright, what have you got? That stone-faced monument has X plus O forever painted on it. Interesting, what do you think that means? Hug and kisses forever? Or they could be initials Xavier and Olivia forever. Xerxes and Oliver? What do you think that monument is for? I'm not sure anyone remembers. The branches on the trees are trimmed. Oh, good observation, so I guess somebody's not taking care of this place. Is this sounding creepier and creepier? Well, Ezra, I can't say I know what that all adds up to. Like I said, I wish we were here. He has some local history for us. We can ask him back on the boat. Kate and Ezra look up at the old battleship drifting by. Battleship full of cats. Oh, there it is. The island Pariah. Don't worry, it's just passing by. What do you think of it? I don't like the sound of it. Ezra's parents should have come awake. They seemed alarmed but not immediately concerned. They led him back to the house, past the house, into the car. Dad said they were going to stay at the bus station for a while. They wanted to go to arcade. With the card game he liked, Dad watched him closely in the rearview mirror, expecting Ezra to be excited or confused or scared, but he didn't feel anything. He hardly seemed to hear. In fact, he felt like he was observing the family car from a distance, from above, from the clouds. Where did it come from? Yeah, it's a mystery. I don't think it was built here, so it must have come from somewhere. There are a lot of ways to get here, though. All these caves are connected, on the same for the river. It's hard to know where anything down here really comes from. Supposedly, there's nobody even board. No people, I mean, there must be something up there. Life is everywhere. Rats, insects, some kind of hardy mold. Part of it could be flooded and hosts some of the eyeless fish that live in the echo. Hey, maybe there's some mushroom growing there, slowly consuming military rations from over 100 years ago. Someone told me she got closer to the accident and heard a strange wailing sound. She was a passenger of the man, but she said she'd been out fishing on a rowboat and got swept up in a current near the cluttered place. Before she knew it, the iron pariah was upon her, unimaginably massive, up close but eerily silent. The only sounds, she said, were the lapping of the lake water against the iron hull and a faint sort of, well, she said a chorus of mews. I'll be damned if I know what that sounds like. I've never gotten close enough to the ship myself. More mysteries. They do pile up over time as people forget the details. Thanks for taking me mushroom picking. Mushroom hunting. You can pick apples because they're right there in the open. Mushrooms hide. You have to hunt for them. Huh. Yeah, let's go. Come on. See that rough circle of rocky protrusions near the shore? It's more intricate than it looks. More than 2/3 of it's actually underwater. I haven't seen it myself, but listen to this. It's man-made, and the rocks were in place according to their size, so what's visible is more or less uniformly random selection of the overall shape. It looks like it might be a spiral, all told, or maybe some kind of meditative labyrinth. At the head of it is a petrified oak stump that was moved here from above ground, of course, decades ago. That's where the ceremony took place. The Locks were married here. Many frail-tongued observers said they should go with Lock or Luck, or split the difference of look, or even lick, but really anything else, but it was never going to happen. The men aligned at the DMV. The driver's license photographers were mixed up by the clerk, a mistake they discovered immediately but never corrected. Their engagement was welcome news for the family business, who had been looking for opportunity to merge interests. The Locks ran on bicycles. The Locks ran a busy printing press, and the Locks managed a fleet of bicycle couriers. The natural step was to start a local paper, what would become the Echo River Evening Record. The ceremony itself was humble and perfunctory, and it must have somehow involved these rocks. Maybe they walked around them in a spiral, like a symbol of their ever-tightening bond. And it must have involved the petrified stump. Neither family is particularly religious. Rumors persist that the officiant wore a robe. Shannon and her friend set out in the dinghy to deliver a package at the telephone exchange. Let's go. Act 4, Scene 7? Sorry guys, I had to get water. My throat was really hurting. My voice was straining. Alright. Kate! Thanks again for your help. This is about as far as this tugboat can go. You know, noise and lights, blah blah blah. You know, noise and lights disturb the bats. I usually send Will, but I thought you'd like the chance to meet Dashell. He's the guy who works at the TV station, WEVP. So, you'll pass through the Bat Sanctuary, which is really nice, by the way. Be sure to check out all the plaques and stuff for, cool bat facts. Plenty of time. Anyway, the Echo River Central Exchange. I wanted to say canal so badly. Or, excuse me. Consolidated Auxiliary Switch number 30. They changed the name when the power company took over. Anyway, it's just on the other side of the Bat Sanctuary. This package is going to Poppy. She's an operator. The operator. We'll meet you on the other side at Sam and Ida's for our scheduled early breakfast stop. Just follow the river. Can't miss it. Oh, I almost forgot. You may or may not be interested. There's this kind of weird memorial sculpture on your way in. Just before the Bat Sanctuary. I always recommend people at least stop and take a look at it. It's really sort of... I don't know how to say it. You should just check it out. Alright, bye. Alright, well... I see our doggo. Oh, no, I want that on. Oh man, are we gonna see ghosties like before? Why did our motor stop? Oh, do we only go if the light is on? Where is this? Oh, that might be the, thing she literally just said. Why'd you go this long way around? We claim these helmets in the name of the folks who wore them, and we place them here in their memory, but also as a spit in the greeny green eye of that power company who bought up our old mine and traded our brothers and sisters' safety for a little more yield, but only give the 28 good men and women dead when the walls collapsed and the tunnels filled with water. Rough. Their lungs were black, but now they're washed clean and full of water too, and swam through hidden tunnels into awful cave we will never find until we guess that water buried them for us. So let this be the marker for their grave. Let this here, Papa. Oh, Jesus. And if any son of a bitch from that power company wants to take back these helmets as company property, just you try it and see what will happen. Hey, Elkhorn. That's the mine we went in, where your folks, worked. Oh. Looks like it's been here a while. I sure as hell wouldn't miss with it. You think whoever wrote it is still that angry? I don't think you'd ever forget anger like that. No, I guess you probably don't. This probably stirs up, how do you... People should remember this happened. Well, here we are, remembering. And I didn't even know it the first time around, but here I am remembering it now. That's a fun memorial, I guess. Rough. Jesus. We getting all the sadness. Ghosties? No ghosties. Oh, no. You are a non-hidden ghostie. I don't like you. Can you kindly not crash me? Thank you. Don't wave at me. Our hands don't glow in the dark. That's unfortunate. No, I don't want to talk to you. Or do I? What? You're looking at me like I'm crazy. Oh, did she not see them? So sometimes I forget I don't even really know you that well. Yeah, well, that makes two of us. You know, those guys from the distillery are just making the best of a bad situation. Just like the rest of us. Hey, one of them said to me earlier they can even help me take care of these medical bills for my leg. You know? Get it all together in a plan. Consolidate it. When did you talk to them about that? Oh, they're around. They're pretty much everywhere you look. On this river, you really haven't noticed? Anyway, I have a feeling it'll all work out. Even this delivery? Yeah, we're almost there, right? Hell, at this point, I bet we could just take off the parking brake and the truck would roll and the 5-dog would drive it by itself. Listen, that old truck I've been driving belonged to my boss, Ida, Lisette's husband. To be honest, Ida didn't like me very much, but somehow Liz got it into her mind that he would have wanted me to have that truck someday. Made to make up for all the yelling he did, or maybe so his ghost could hold it over me. Just one more thing to feel like I owed him for. Anyway, they got their own trucks at the distillery, and now that antique shop is closing up, I've got no use for the old truck. I was thinking you could take it. I like the last one. I can keep an eye on it until you get straightened out. Sure, okay, sounds good. Ghosts? No ghosts. Visitors to the Echo River Nomadic Silverbat Artificial Hibernaculum and Sanctuary are asked to take extra precautions in order to prevent the introduction of foreign fungal contaminants and the spread of white nose syndrome. Alright, so bringing in mushrooms would be bad. Please do not visit the sanctuary during the same day in which you visited any cave known or suspected to host that's infected with white nose syndrome. I have no idea. Please do not leave your vehicle. If you must leave your vehicle, please remove shoes, clothes, jewelry, headwear, and eyeglasses to ensure you do not bring any foreign spores ashore with you. Please do not touch any bats or structures. The nomadic silverbat is confused by light. If you're using a lantern or other artificial light source, be aware that it may attract and confuse bats. If you are approached by bats, do not panic. Relax. Stop your vehicle and switch off your light. Never touch a bat. So, do I just go in darkness? Because that's not fun to watch. Oh, you hear them? Oh. They have boxes. Alright, so how do I do this? Do I just... I wish they glowed, so at least I could see. Oh, I saw one. Alright, let's just go. Right, don't click a bat. I'm just gonna keep my hand on the light. Look, don't touch. That fact, Edward talk with your mouth full, bats do it all the time. Bats talk in extremely high frequency clicks, too high for the humans to hear, and then they use powerful ears to scan for the echoes of these ultrasonic clicks by comparing very subtle differences in time these echoes take to come back. Differences of just millionths of a second. Bats are able to picture their environment with high enough accuracy to catch a flying insect. Once a bat has caught an insect in its mouth, it's still flying, so it still needs to avoid running into anything. The bats keep clicking away, even while they munch on a tasty bug snack. It may be poor table manners, but it's crucial for surviving in the dark. I wonder how other bats know whether one of them is really talking or just chasing a bug. I think when they're actually communicating, it sounds more like singing. I like to hear that. Do you not hear that now? Does Conway have 2 skeleton arms? Or was that his leg being nosy? Alright, don't click anything. When did Conway get a lay? Can we just talk about this? I noticed it earlier. Oh, that's his leg. I noticed it earlier that he had a lay, and I wasn't, like, understanding where it had come from. Oh, the bats are really upset, but I really want to read this. Cool, I managed to not click them, and then I'm going to turn the light off for a bit. The nomadic silverbat's natural diet consists of moths and other small insects that breed along the river. Here, at the artificial Hibernaculum and Sanctuary, we use a combination of chemical snares and ultrasonic warps to repel all potentially contaminant-bearing insects and place them with our own locally bred and spawned hypoallergenic antiseptic pseudomoths, which we call the little gray nothing moth. You may be thinking that the other moths and insects the nomadic bat, silver bat, would have been eating are very much relieved that their natural predator has found another food source. Not so! We even saw netting and highly effective moth traps along the river where the nomadic silver bat normally hunts to balance their escape from the food chain. But eating moths isn't the only systematic contribution these bats make. They also produce a potent fertilizer in the form of guano that helps plant life thrive along the Eco River. Ow, I hit my elbow. Oh, Jesus Christ. The Echo River and shore of Lake Leaf. In order to minimize the sanctuary's impact on subterranean agriculture, we collect the precious guano here at the hibernaculum and manually distribute throughout the caves. It's a full-time job. Sounds like a lot of work. They eat fake moths? Yeah, hyperallergenic antiseptic pseudomoths, the little gray nothing moth. Well, a lot of people eat fake food, right? Food taken apart and put back together so it looks and tastes like something they remember eating before, even if they never did. Listen, chicken nuggets are delicious. Don't hate. Like the chicken that's... No, stop. Yeah, in this case, I think it's about survival. I mean, if that's the bottom line, what's the difference? Like the folks in the mine, he said they used to buy stuff, fish, canneries, all those little trinkets to make it bearable. There's still a lot of stuff down there. It feels cluttered, but human. I mean, all the people need is enough to pretend we're home, and we can make it anywhere. Sure. You get philosophical when you're drinking. Anyone tell you that? Yeah, I guess I do. Nah, this is nothing. You have to have this drinking buddy who we get loaded and tell the weirdest damn riddles like, which is more musical, a truck passing by a factory or a truck passing by a music school? Ha! Count your blessings. Alright, let's turn this light out for a sec. These bats are like really upset. Damn, it's really dark down here. Uh-oh. Are you still there? Todd just called me. He's gonna panic. Oh, there you are. I hope that's you. I was just thinking about my dad. I guess because we were talking about your folks a minute ago. To be honest with you, I don't think about him that often. Your cousin brought him up earlier, and he's just been in my mind. It's good your folks have a memorial. A lot of people, nobody remembers them when they're gone. Like, your dad? Oh, no. He would have hated that. I don't know what I mean. Alright, so that's cool. I should have kept the light out earlier then. What is this umbrella? Yep, there are just so many bats. Wait till I get to a complete stop? Is that how this works? Oh. Better hang on a minute. It feels like there's one kind of hovering right over me. They don't really hover though, do they? I mean, how could they? I guess a lightning bug would hover by beating its wings really fast. Maybe they can do that too. I used to watch lightning bugs in the evening out at the edge of the woods. Lisette's kid Charlie. He loved them, you know. He ended up going to college and studying astronomy. I like to think he got his love for stars from those nights watching bugs. Anyway, me and Charlie. Sometimes we try to see one of them up close. They lay in the grass and you have to be totally still for a while. Like one of those wax sculptures that don't even breathe. Like this. Oh, you can't see me. I was doing the watching a lightning bug in the grass face. I think I can imagine it. Yeah, you've seen it already. When I fell in the mine, kind of stunned and shocked. Hey, who were you talking to earlier when we met in the mine? You were on the phone with someone. I forgot about that. My ex? Oh. Yeah, Alejandra. Hold on, I get the book again. We met in school. We're still pretty... No, you don't sound like you were close from earlier. She has kids now, so we don't talk as much. I was just venting on the phone about my landlord situation. She was very patient, but I could tell she had no idea what I was talking about. I actually hate talking on the phone. Yeah, I try not to use it. I like to see someone's hands when they talk. Most people never learn how to lie with their hands, so anything you see there can be pretty much taken for the truth. That's true. I like seeing people's faces. Because I'm socially awkward and don't understand social cues without, like, physical. Excuse me. You know what? I'm gonna hide. Oh, that's a bomb drop. Lisette's sick. I mean, she's old. We're both old. Hell, you're about the oldest, excuse me, youngest person I know right now. Oh, and the kid. Maybe Blue, by a people calendar. But in dog years, I think she has us all beat. So I'm old too, sure. And I forget stuff all the time. Especially if I had a few, my brain is swimming. But I mean, it's all going away. She's losing words you'd never think you'd lose. Not just, like, streets she grew up on, but the names of colors and types of furniture, or even the word furniture. She'd say, we still got a few nice pieces in the, what's that I call the shed where we put the bigger pieces and the beds and couches, and I'd say, Liz, why do you keep teasing me about the time I fell asleep in the furniture shed when it's so damn comfortable in there? I tried to help her keep some dignity, you know? That's all I had to offer at the end. She has a sister in Nashville who'll take good care of her, and now that I'm not around the shop all the time, what was that old guy's name? He used to make deliveries for the shop. He smells like leather. Eero was always yelling at him. Too drunk to work at one day, and he could have been in the right place at the right time. You feel pretty badly about that accident. Do you think she blames you? No, but it's awful the same. But sometimes I kind of wish she would. That way, at least she could eventually forgive me. You know what I mean? I know exactly what you mean. Alright, I think the bats are clearing out. White nose syndrome is still largely a mystery. We suspect that the white fungal group which appears on the bats' faces and wings irritates and confuses them, causing them to awaken early from hibernation and venture outside, depleting stored energy they need to survive through the winter. But biologists are nowhere near curing the disease. It spreads quickly and is highly fatal. In this way, white nose syndrome has drawn some comparisons to colony collapse disorder, as suffered by bees. White nose syndrome and colony collapse disorder are sudden, violent, and mysterious. Will honeybees and the nomadic silverbat be two more lost species wiped out in a geological blink and forgotten to natural history? It's possible that a cure won't be identified in time, so the sanctity of this artificial hibernaculum is our best hope of preserving them. As you leave the Echo River Nomadic Silverbat Hibernaculum Sanctuary, please make sure your vehicles and clothing are free of hitchhikers. That's free. That's fair. Is that a street lamp? Just like a lot of nothing ahead of us. Alright, I was just checking. Like, I see this, like, street poles here. Oh, it's a whole tunnel. Oh, are we in an office? Oh, right, the telephone place we're making delivery. Again. Ghosts? No ghosts. Careful up there. Can't drive your new truck if you slip and break your legs. I'll be careful. Leave it at that. Oh, hi, I remember you. What are you doing down here? I'm just exploring. I like dark underground places. I'm a romantic. I think I'm more classical myself. That sounds like the same thing to me. It's not. Bye. Alright, well that was a short. Oh, well, there's this guy. Could be bypassed with another capacitor at 100 nanofarads to reduce noise. Are you Dashiell Morris? Him? I mean me? Yes, I'm him. Sorry, I've been hacking on this thing all night. My thoughts are starting to come in alternating currents. We don't install this type of phone for customers anymore, but there are quite a few of them still in circulation. Anyway, the new system doesn't source enough current to ring these old bells, so I'm trying to come up with a workaround. Maybe a little box the customer can attach right before the wall jack. I'm a bit of a circuit geek myself. I bet. I mean, you seem very comfortable with electronics. Is this your first time down here? Yeah, I can tell. Your eyes can't quite adjust to the light. It takes some practice. Believe it or not, I've been coming here since I was a kid, for one reason or the next. Back then, this place was a train station. It's true. They had bats then, too, but they were considered a nuisance. It flooded, clearly. Well, the river shifted, and this place slowly filled with water, carrying the trains away with the current. It does that, the river, and I don't begrudge it. It's a good reminder that everything we have is borrowed, even trains. Eventually, someone in the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces heard this place was still empty, so they moved the phone company in here. I returned here as a young lineman, Isco had picked up in the wartime, running telephone wires behind enemy lines. We used trees instead of poles. I miss it, actually. They were easier to climb. It's just as well. I'm in no shape to be climbing anything these days. The closest I get is patching up the wiring in the crystal room for the WEVP folks. Did you ever know a girl named Weaver? Sure, Weaver Marquez. That's funny. I was just thinking about her. Yeah, I met her a couple of times at the TV station. I suppose I didn't know her too well. She handled the archives, and I was helping with wiring and stuff. She really seemed to know her way around all that gear, though. She had a head for signals, I think. No idea where she ended up. I would guess she's probably not too popular on the station anymore, but I always liked her. Listen, miss, if you're interested in WEVP, you should go talk to them directly. They're always looking for volunteers. Take the ferry over to the silo, and there's a mail stop there. They don't have a sign or anything, just ask around. I guess I'll get back to this old ringer. Poppy's just a little further down if you're dropping off that package. Nice chatting with you. Abel and... I don't know how to pronounce it. Elise? Ellis? Eloise? Ellie. Abel and Ellie, the lovers' couriers. Bred for racing, Abel and Ellie spent most of their lives as carrier pigeons and the employee of the Echo River Avian Post. They retired here after Abel was disfigured in an accident with a light aircraft. But old habits were hard to die. Abel and Ellie would pick up scraps of paper from the ground and trash, even pull them out of pockets and deliver them to other people nearby, to delight or embarrassment. Word spread, and travelers passing through this tunnel began to come prepared with love letters, poems, and other written desires to pass along indirectly through these pigeons. After a hard day's work, Abel and Ellie would always be found nestled closely together, and in a disused newspaper stand set aside for their habitation. And that's where we left them. Oh, there are giant birds up here. Okay. Hey, Poppy! Do you not have a boat, dude? A boat. Oh my god. I'm tired. A light. I wanted to ask you if you didn't have a light on the boat. Just set it right over there, but the lamp, sweetie. Thanks. Actually, just a minute. Who does the parcel claim to be from? Laszlo Electronics? There's no label on it. Well, if we're lucky, it's chocolate from a secret admirer and not a snake from an assassin. Whoa. So who are you? Do you work for the post office? Or the tugboat? I only asked because I haven't seen you before. Was that you I heard chatting down the hall? Yeah, I meant Dashiell. He's been working on that obsolete ringer, hasn't he? Poor Dashiell. You know, he's not really... He was let go a while back. A long while. Actually, when they started restructuring, he was one of the first to go. They talked to letting him come every day and fiddle with some interminable project. He doesn't keep a long gap from growing his resume. That I think he just has nothing better to do. One of those old men who needs to work, you know? Doesn't know how to be any other way. Well, I guess there are no real jobs here, but there are fake jobs, I guess. It wasn't always like this. When I came to work at the Echo River Central Exchange, there were 12 of us: Loretta, Egna, Meg, Kara, Marie, Louie, Liz, Hester, Angie, Wilma, Connie. I was number 12. Connie and I were hired on the same day, but she showed up early. Marie finished college, and Hester was fired for snapping at a rude caller. But he had it coming, and I hear she did just fine on her own. So they hired Beryl, Jana, and Sachiko, which brought us up to 13, and that was as many operators as we ever had here at one time. The power company came along, buying up all the lines, and one day they took the exchange as a throw-in. Like it was nothing, and they started phasing us out. Edna, Meg, Karen, and Louie left one Friday evening, and were asked not to come back on Monday morning. Beryl saw the writing on the wall and quickly found employment at a private BPX. They had Jana and Liz stop routing calls and write up some kind of best practices document instead. It was their final task as exchange employees. Some of the girls were reassigned to other divisions. Connie, I think, was checking residential meters. Sachiko and Wilma were moved into energy sales, cold calling businesses to see if they would needed to upgrade their electricity plan. At least they were still on the phone. Then it was just Loretta and Jamie. We were swamped. The hours were hell and hard on the throat. The voice with a smile became a croak. I was gargling warm salt water in the break room, sipping from a thermos full of hot honey broth stashed under my chair. Oh, I brought a lot of extended technique to the switchboard those days. Stress. That sounded stress. Sounded pretty good to me. Yeah, I'm impressed. Oh. So, where was I? Extended switchboard technique. It was all about timing your breath. Some girls got lightheaded doing too many calls in a row. With that upbeat, dynamic inflection they made us to keep everything intelligible, it was very physical. So, after a few months, it was just me. A new automation strategy was announced, and the place was rechristened Consolidated Auxiliary Switch Number 30. If it's automated, what do you do here? It's not fully automated. There are still gaps in functionality that need a human touch. And, it really is all about touch here. Sound is a vibration, a touch you feel in your ear. So my voice is a touch. When we're talking, we're touching. Even on the phone, that's an electric touch, an intimate little shock that makes your tiny hairs tremble. But that's not even what I mean when I say it's all about touch here. When the power company first tried automating this old exchange of fancy new transistor arrays, the switchboard caught fire. It was too much too fast, so they tried using some clunky old mechanical relays, and then the calls were getting mismatched and out of sync. It was a nightmare. Their technicians determined that the phone system down here had been designed ad hoc over decades around the specific tempo of the human operators. So short of replacing the whole thing, not to mention all the wiring, they'd have to work out the exact timing of every little human gesture that goes into routing a phone call. And that, officially, is my role here. I run the switchboard for the whole exchange. Once the work of 12, I like to remind you, I have some kind of machine somewhere that tracks how long it takes me to do each little thing. The caller never hears my voice now. They dial, my little indicator light switches on, and I make the connections. Interesting. What's the machine like? It's funny, I've never actually seen it. They just told me to carry on patching while it collects and collates in the background until it's ready to take over. There's a dark thought. What if there is no cheap machine that's going to replace me? What if it's cheaper to just keep me here, filling in for the rhythm of the operators? What if I'm the cheap machine? You're not a machine. Nice of you to notice. I'm more in the Echo River Central Exchange. I'll carry a torch for the voice with a smile, but at least I'm keeping some part of it human, right? Even if it's not the best part. Oh, the parcel, right over there by the lamp is fine. Thanks for dropping that off. Take care. Think of me when you dial 0. Okay. Well, there's our doggo. Did you die? Excuse me. No. No. Getting his leg fixed was a trap. Oh no. this them? She turned on the dinghy, alone. She had a strong and sudden urge to shut the motor off and let the current take her, but she couldn't work out where that impulse came from, so she did her best to resist it. She met a flower salesman on a raft. They floated alongside in buoyant pots. Bobbing untethered, he corralled them with a long pole at a stream of small adjustments. Oh, I wanted to get a closer look. He was alert and easygoing. His day was just beginning. He used to work at the balloon barn, but it was closed down. When he wasn't selling flowers, he'd hang out by the highway and listen to the sounds the cards made, study them carefully, and then learn to reproduce them with his own voice. He was working on a record. He drifted away the current, pushing his flowers along with the raft. Oh, sorry. She'd been a guitar player pedaling on a floating bicycle with his dog in tow. He said they took turns. The water was cold, and the floating bicycle, while technically marvelous, wasn't quite buoyant enough for both of them. Swimming is hard work, the hardest work that dog had ever done, he expected. They'd been traveling this way for most of the night, struggling through icy water, stopping to recover when they could find a rock large enough to start a small campfire. He had his belongings stuffed into a weathered guitar case at the end of a thin rope. It was pretty well? What? So he only had to keep an eye on it occasionally, free it from a rock or some driftwood it was caught on. She invited him to ride away on the dinghy. He appreciated the offer, but they weren't in a hurry. Okay. Painter shipwrecks. He never worked from photographs, so his paintings could be divided into two categories. There were the ones he painted from life, and the Echo River was a very good source of these because its currents were so unpredictable and the tunnels so dark. He rendered in oil paint by lamplight, working for hours cross-legged in the porch of his houseboat/studio. Then there were the ones he painted from memory, mostly the memory of a single wreck he encountered as a much younger man, picking up litter where the coastal highway cleaves the rocky beaches of Northern California. These were done in watercolor. He preferred to work on them in the morning, in a room he rented near the airport in Louisville. He had some postcard-sized sketches, and charcoal too, of the I Am Pariah. It wasn't a wreck exactly, but it felt right. He tried to scribble them down every time he encountered it, though it was so unpredictable and he was so focused on details he usually just ended up with a handful of inscrutable marks. She gave in, shut off the motor and floated for a while. Then she knew what she'd been craving, a moment of silence. What's that?